Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're doing a Let's Play and early impressions for World War Z VR, a game released on the Steam store today, August 12th, 2025. It normally retails for $20, but you do save a few bucks if you own World War Z on Steam like I do. So I did buy this game, I saved a few bucks, and I am playing it on the MetaQuest 3 using Virtual Desktop, VDXR. Yes, I did try link cable earlier, but because this uses Steam VR, performance was very rough, and I want this game to look as good as possible. And so let's try it out with Virtual Desktop. Let's see what happens. But I can tell you on link cable, I was getting frame rate drops. So I would normally run at 90 frames per second. I did lower the graphics for link cable to medium, and then shadows to low, and then rendering scale to 1.0, and environmental quality medium. So basically, medium, low for shadows, and rendering scale 1.0, and I was still getting major frame rate drops. So now I'm using Virtual Desktop, VDXR. Let's see what happens, although I did bump up the graphics. So let's see. It is set to 72 frames per second, though, so I did lower the native frame rates back to the default 72 frames per second for the MetaQuest 3. So let's go ahead and let's play. So I'm going to continue. I've been playing for about an hour, and I did die twice. My character is Angel Flores because he's a former LA King, not LA King, Latin King. I think that's kind of funny. But let's go ahead and let's start. We're going to restart from checkpoint.
After the U.S. government launched,
we're going to skip through this because we don't care about that. So one of the criticisms I have of the game is that it was way too dark. But again, I played it earlier with link cable, and now I'm playing it with Virtual Desktop. So let's see if I notice the same issues or not. But earlier with the link cable, it was simply too dark, and I couldn't see some things. And the thing about this game is during certain sections, the game is almost like a tower defense, and I say that just because during certain points you're gonna get overflooded with zombies everywhere, so you have to set up your defenses, right? But if you can't see, obviously it's gonna be difficult to do that. By the way, I do notice some frame rate drops, so unfortunately. Wow. Oh, yeah. Some frame rate drops. Yes, definitely. Let's keep playing, though. The visuals do look better, though. So the visuals look better, obviously, because I do have this to realistic, so you can choose a more arcade mode if you want. But I chose the realistic mode. So I'm going to use the battle rifle now because I just happen to know that. Oof. You notice those frame rate drops? Oof. In all honesty, though, I did bump up the graphics, so I probably shouldn't have done that. But I wanted to see how good this game could look. It's mostly 72 frames per second, but you notice those frame rate drops, which I talked about earlier. It happened even with me lowering the graphics. So I like I said, I lowered a lot of the graphics to low, with only the bare essentials set to medium, with rendering scale set to 1.0. And you know what? I'm gonna lower rendering scale. I'm gonna lower it to 1.0. Hold on. Let me go ahead and do that right now. Settings, graphics. No, I'm gonna lower shadows versus lowering the texture quality or the environmental quality. I'm gonna lower shadows. And hopefully Hopefully that fixes the frame rate drops. I guess we'll see. And like I said, I already know what happens here, so. As you noticed, there were some frame rate drops still, so it did not fix the frame rate drops. And keep in mind, we're at lower frame rates, so we're down to 72 frames per second. Because, like I said, I wanted to improve the visuals, and I have. The visuals do look better, but I'm still getting those frame rate drops, so not good. Oh, oof! Did you notice that frame rate drops? So I've used both link cable and virtual desktop, but it doesn't matter either way. Big frame rate drops. Not plus. Oof! Another big frame rate drop. This game is getting into the unplayable territory. I'm gonna. Can I lower the visuals anymore? Let me see. What can I do to? I'm gonna lower rendering scale. I think that these won't. Yeah, I mean, woof. I'm really pushing it now. Hopefully that makes things better. Obviously, the last thing I want to do is now, I'll say something positive. The lighting has improved using virtual desktop. So the lighting before was oof! Another frame rate drop. Another major frame rate drop. Oof. Man, the frame rate drops. Seriously, whoa. So yeah, definitely the assault rifle is a lot better. It has, the spread isn't as bad. But the frame rate drops, wow. I mean, like I said, I had link cable. It was worse with link cable, but even with virtual desktop, I'm still experiencing severe frame rate drops, and I've lowered the graphics because obviously we're experiencing those frame rate drops and we want to improve them. Let's see, my friends here need help. There we go. We're at 200%, and here's a. So, you can only carry 3 grenades.
Hey! Please help us! We're up here!
If they're using the speakers, That would put them in the main hall's control room on the second floor.
Sounds like you've been here before.
Yeah. Once. With my kid.
I hear something, but I'm not exactly sure where it is. But you notice it is too dark. Even it was just worse before. And the frame rate drops are just sudden. Like it's at a steady 72 frames per second right now. But you just get these sudden frame rate drops for seemingly apparently no reason. I don't know why it runs so poorly. Like, sometimes it's because there's too many enemies on screen, which is... But like I said, yeah, it's really too dark. I don't like the shotgun because sometimes you need to hit faraway targets, and if you have a shotgun, you're pretty much SOL.
This is Mars, the red planet, fourth from the sun and most Earth-like planet of them all.
You do have to look around. Because you want to find these keys, which will let you get the turrets. So you don't want to go directly to the... Get out of the... Man, these guys aren't very bright. Gotta say, they're not very bright. So, yeah, I'm still trying to look all around, make sure I don't miss any spots, because I really want to find keys. And keys will let you activate turrets or defenses. So you want to find as many as possible. The problem is it's simply way too dark. And it can be very easy to miss these keys.
Planets are big, round balls that travel around stars. Earth is one of the planets in our solar system. All planets move in circles around their star, just like Earth moves around the sun.
As you can see, you can sprint, but you do have like a stamina system, so you do get tired. Can't just sprint all over the place, although I wish I could. And here's...
Father, stay back!
I mean, if there's a key here, it's way too dark for me to tell. And I'm just going to check on the other side, and then I'll be done. But I didn't see any keys. It doesn't mean there aren't any keys. There might be some keys in here. But it's way too dark. I just can't see. Okay, I think that's it. Alright, I don't think there's anything else we can do but go up. I think we've looked everywhere. So, again, don't leave without getting the ammo. I believe there was like an ammo here. There we go, now we're fully loaded. And don't worry about them, they magically go to where you are. UI is not the best. But yeah, you notice how freaking dark it is? And again, we want to look for keys if you can find them, but I mean, look how dark it. Here's I think a key, but look how dark it is. Look how dark it is. How am I supposed to? Like, did you see how dark it was? Like, I have no idea how we're supposed to find that. I could barely see it. So here's a turret that you can turn on. Again, I can't even see these guys. I cannot see them. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use the key here.
Don't worry. We'll just have to get the emergency power generator running.
And again, I can't even see that. I cannot see that. I'm shooting, but I'm not seeing the locks. Like even here, I can see this one. So I want to wait a little bit. I don't want to use that one quite yet. And let's go to full health before we do anything. So what we want to do is we want to get out our little spray thing here. By the way, there's two different ways to do it. Let me make sure they're 100% too.
Hold still. Fixing you up.
See, there's a key here, but we need to find a key to insert it. So, and the way this works is you put it here, and you're back to 100%. We don't want to start the event yet because we want to look around and find some keys. But again, it's so dark. I can barely see anything. I think there's a key there. I think this is one of the keys. You know, I can't even tell. No, this is you need a key to open this. Okay, well, that's ammo. That's an assault carbine. That's grenades. And this is a key. So again, let's go ahead and let's open this one so we can see what it is. There's also a turret over there that we might want to turn on, but we'll go ahead and use this one. And you see it's barbed wire. Yeah, I'm not really sure the barbed wire was worth it, but there you go. Probably this electrical floor would probably been a better use of that key. And I don't know if we can find another key. Yeah, I don't know at this point if we can do anything. Let's see. Maybe if we can go downstairs, we can find another key. But I don't know if we can go downstairs. I think we're just going to have to make do with what we have. Well, actually, no. I'm wrong. We can... Nope. I'm right. You can't do anything there. Okay. So yeah, I think we can't go down anymore. That's locked. So we can't go through there. Okay. I think there's nothing we can do but start the event. So this is, we might die here. Let's see what happens. I was hoping to find at least one more key, but it is what it is. And we have to get this as well. And we can start the event now.
Imagine the dump. Why'd you turn off everything here? No time to sort things out. Protect the civilians.
Imagine the dark canopy above you is the night sky, and all those tiny twinkling lights are stars. In reality, stars are less like tiny lights and more like gigantic balls of fire, way up in space. Stars are made mostly of gas hydrogen, which is so this process called nuclear fusion reheats the star and makes it shine bright in the sky. You might think the star is as light and on during the day. Just like the ones you see, it's just much closer to us, which is why it looks so big and bright compared to other stars. Stars come in different sizes and colors. Some are bigger than the sun, and some are small. They can be blue, white, yellow, or red, depending on how they are. Blue stars are the hottest, while red stars are the coolest. Look up at the night and see those stars. Really looking at tiny balls of shining Imagine the dark
Now that's a shut-off switch.
Rogers, we're heading your way with survivors from the planetarium.
And I just got everyone back from the hangar club. Good job, team.
Okay, so like I said, it was way too dark using link cable, so just switching to VDXR, I won't say it fixed the issue, but it did make it better because, you know, the lighting was slightly better. It was just enough there that I could see, whereas using link cable, I just couldn't see at all. But I still wouldn't call the lighting good. You know, it's still too dark in my opinion. I could barely see. But we do get those rewards. So what are my early impressions? So I actually think this is not a bad game, but performance is terrible. Like, just awful. Like, again, the same thing happened with link cable and VDXR, regardless of which one I use. You get mostly 90 frames per second, which is what I was doing with link cable. I was getting mostly 90 frames per second. But then you have these severe frame rate drops. And they're just random. Like, it's not even because of lots of enemies on screen. They just randomly happen. And the same thing happened with Virtual Desktop. You know, even though I lowered the default resolution to 72 frames per second, I was still experiencing these same issues. And as you saw, I lowered the graphics to about as low as I can lower them. I guess I can go down to 0.8. And obviously, textures quality, environmental quality, I could lower the textures to medium, Maybe I have to lower everything to low. Maybe I don't know, but I think I've already lowered them substantially. Let's play a little bit more just to see. So the Screamer, the Infector. That's one thing I do like about this game is all the different zombie types. So you have the normal Zeke, the normal zombie. Then you have the Bomber, which I'm surprised that one's not unlocked there. I thought we killed several. Then you have the Screamer. This one, it's going to draw a bunch of other zombies in. This guy will release a poison gas. This guy will throw his infection, like a little sticky fluid that he throws all around.
I'm back in it.
And that's Angel Flores, a gang member. Then you have your assault rifle, which you unlock after completing the New York, which is good. Then you see my career. Can we unlock anything? It says something here about teamwork. So I guess you unlock these by completing the levels. I guess you don't have any input in that. And nope, we're still. We go back to episodes. We go to New York, and I guess we got evacuation route now. Okay, and we get to dual wield. Okay, so let's play a little bit of this. I guess we'll switch characters to Arnetta Larkin. Let's go. We'll switch characters.
Got everyone to the hospital. Everyone was safe, but the evacuation wasn't over yet.
It doesn't make any difference, really.
But for that, we had to get them to the train station.
My main complaint, besides the optimization, which is a pretty big complaint, is that there's no online multiplayer. That's very odd. That's like the whole crux of this game. Like, it's weird. This is like playing Left 4 Dead in single player only. The game is meant for online co-op multiplayer, and it's so weird that this game doesn't have it at launch. It makes no sense to me at all. This is a online multiplayer game. I played World War Z, and World War Z is a lot better, honestly. If given the optimization issues, if you ask me which game would I rather play, World War Z flat version or World War Z VR, I'd say World War Z flat version. The visuals are better. The game is a lot bigger. It's massive compared to this one. It's like double the file size, and just the gameplay mechanics are a lot more polished and fluid. Another key. So you put your key here, and then I'm not sure that we want to do that. Oh my god, the frame rate drops. Like I said, nothing's happening right now. I'm getting major frame rate drops. Whoa. And keep in mind, I just lowered the resolution scale all the way down to 0.8. How much further do I have to lower it? This is ridiculous. This game is barely playable. It's barely playable. It's in a barely, and like I said, it's mostly 72 frames per second. So it's just buzzing. Like, it's mostly 72 frames per second. Like right now, it's a steady 72 frames per second. Then out of nowhere, boom, big frame rate drop. We have to protect the bus. All right. So I do like that this is a little different mission here. That's good. But the frame rates, man, whoa, come on. I'm at 25, 30, 23 frames per second, 35, 72. And the frame rates are all over the place. I gotta say, I do like the silenced pistol. Oh my god, the frame rates. Oh my god. Whoa, did you see that? It went down into the 20s. It's barely playable. It's barely playable. I'm sorry, guys, but given the poor performance of this game, there's just no way I could recommend it. It is awful. I mean, whoa, this level is not playable. Right now, it's not playable. And again, I did everything. Like, you guys know, I normally play with Link Cable. I only went to virtual desktop just out of sheer, just trying anything, really. And I lowered the default resolution, like, all the way down to 72. And it still has these major frame rate drops. I can't recommend the game as it is right now. And that's a shame, because I do think this could potentially be a good game. I definitely like all the different zombie types and, the different weapons. And the fact that you can unlock turrets and stuff, and the fact that the mission here is different. You have a bus that you're escorting, pretty cool. But performance being so bad affects gameplay.
Gas bag coming in.
Oh my god, performance! Oh my god. So yeah, I'm gonna stop playing here because performance is really making this game unplayable at this point. So let me quit. Sorry guys, I have to quit. This is exit. Okay, exit. We have to exit. This is unplayable. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna rate this game early impressions, but I am gonna give it a negative review because at this point I would say it's in an unplayable state. The first, oof, look at that. Look at performance. Whoa. I saw 6 frames per second. Okay, now it's stabilized to 72 frames per second. And notice I've been lowering and lowering graphics. It doesn't seem to make any difference. Like, what else can I do? I mean, textures quality, I can lower it. That's the only thing I can see, but that requires a restart. That's why I haven't done it. Textures quality, to see how a restart is required. That's the only thing I can think of to do. But I would say this game is unplayable, at least on my RTX 3080. And I've tried both link cable, I've tried virtual desktop, I've tried lowering the native frame rates from 90 to 72, lowering the rendering scale. Really, the only thing left for me to do is to lower the texture quality, and that requires a restart. But no, I don't recommend this game. It's not playable, in my opinion, at least for me. Maybe on your rig, things are different, but on my RTX 3080, Windows 11, everything updated, you know, MetaQuest 3, link cable or virtual desktop, it's not. So, yeah, I don't recommend this game. I'm going to give it a thumbs down. I'm not going to rate it because I think it is a good game. I think it's, you know, when I compare it to After the Fall or Nazi Zombie, what's the name of it? Nazi Zombie Army? Zombie Army VR, you know, it just came out. When I compare it to those two games, which are similar style games, this one I think is actually better than both those games. But it has no online multiplayer. So, you know, that brings it below those two games because even though the gameplay is better, it has no online multiplayer, which defeats the purpose. Plus, with the technical issues of optimization and all that, it's definitely worse than those two games. But the potential to be better is there. That's my point there. This game could potentially be better than After the Fall or Nazi Zombie VR, but because of the technical issues, because of no online multiplayer, it's worse. But yeah, I mean, at this point, I would say just play World War Z flat version. You'll have more fun than this game. I actually played this game, that game earlier today, and it was more fun than this, unfortunately. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.